Howdy folks, this morning I'm going to be shaving with Stirling Soap Company's Electric Sheep. I'll put a scent description down below. And I've used this soap a time or two till I've been scooping out of it. It's a firm soap but not a hard soap. Pretty easy to scoop out and press down in a bowl. Feels pretty creamy when you press it down in the bowl. Set this off to the side here. Got my alum block complete with rubber band. There's witch hazel with aloe. Got the matching aftershave. The soap really does smell good. And the shaver of the day is a gold Dollar W59. And if I didn't round the edge, it'll go well today. If I if I did roll the edge when I was stropping it, I do have a fat boy sitting over here with a feather blade waiting to be put in it if things don't go well. I've already put a hot towel to the face. I've got the soap already lathered up here. This is a MacMetalworks shaving brush. Hopefully here pretty soon he'll have a Etsy shop opened up. I really like this scent. It's kind of like a Williams mug soap, except for I think this actually smells better. Also, over here to the side, I have my pre-shave soap, Dirty Clown. It is getting smaller. Been kind of excited to shave with this again. Hopes that I didn't round the edge when I was dropping it. I got this from Frank, Strike Gold Shaving. But like Anthony mentioned too, that they're not the easiest to hone. And I kind of understand because it's a different kind of metal. And it's also a different kind of shave feel in my opinion. Kind of hoping that I get better at the stropping. I don't roll my edges near as much. That's the reason why I went with a shavette, is because of the time and effort that it takes to hone one. I, how can you say, don't have the time just yet to be doing such a thing. It's not that I don't want to. Don't have the time. Plus it'll cost you a little bit to get started. Just a few dollars. Anybody that's looked into it know that you're gonna spend a little bit of money. Not only on your straight razors, depending on what direction you plan on going, but you're also going to spend money on your stones and a strop or two, depending on. I have not boogered up one too terribly bad just yet. I've got one where you can tell it did get a little off, and just little scrapes, nothing horrible, no big cuts or anything like that, thank goodness. And it's been a good long while since I shaved with a straight razor, so we're going to see how this goes. Get my hand dried off there. A lot like the shave that I usually stick to a 2-pass shave. I will say that the stretching, in my opinion, it varies. And what your needs are. Oh, I probably forgot to mention I have a damp cloth over here to the side to wipe the soap off on. It's hard to describe the shave feel difference in between this one and, let's say, like a carbon steel versus a stainless. Um, right now I don't think I've got enough experience to be able to explain the difference in the feel that I'm experiencing. It I guess it maybe is because I relate it closer to being like a excuse me, maybe a single edge shaver, a gem with Teflon maybe. It's for me, the transition in between the straight razor and the shavette, really not a whole lot of a transition for me. I know some folks have mentioned that there's quite a bit of a difference, but for me, didn't seem to be that much of a difference in the transitioning from one to the other. I do find it a lot of fun to learn how to shave with different shavers. Some it takes a little bit more effort than others. I think that next time I'm going to try my hand at using the polishing or the compound, to sharpen, refresh the edge just a little bit. We're going to see. We're going to see how good I am with this. My first go around. Find it interesting, the different opinions on straight razor shaving, on how they strop and what they use. There is a part right there that I have, I guess you might say, a crease, and I really need to approach it at not at a 90-degree angle, anything but that. And sometimes the longer the blade, the more difficulty I have trying to catch that angle just right. It's right there. It does have a nice feedback. It does remind me of some of my single edge shavers that sound like that. Still got that one part right there. I think it needs a little bit more attention. Usually right through there where it's thicker growth can be a little problematic trying to get close to it. Alright. Not too bad. Not too bad. get past number 2 under my belt here pretty soon. Usually the against the grain pass, you definitely want to do some stretching on it. I know some folks can get away with a minimal stretching on the with the grain, but against the grain is when I know I definitely got to stretch. I may have caught it myself a little bit right there. I was trying not to. Sometimes right there it's not the easiest with a longer blade for me to get accustomed to how to work it. I've got plenty of lather over here. I can still smell the scent of the soap. I think that I got this a little bit thicker than what I normally do. I have to wet this just a tad bit. Yeah, this video is going a little bit longer than what I expected. Yeah, when you do that pass right there, you may want to pay attention to your ears. Otherwise you might end up getting a cut right there, coming close to your ear there. It is kind of fun trimming right around there. Don't have quite the issue with the smaller blade, one that's not quite as long. You usually get around that pretty easy. With a longer blade, it takes me a little bit more practice. Which I probably should have shaved with a Dovo for about a week with the long blade. That way I've been a little bit more accustomed to a longer blade. That or a hair shaper. I do think there's going to be a wee bit of stinging on this one with the alum block. just a wee bit. Don't think I got the stropping down just yet, but I'm not too far off. It wasn't all that uncomfortable. Right through there. See if I can't catch that. Yeah, that's somewhat better. I guess it's about time for a rinse now. If you haven't tried a straight razor shave, there is nothing like getting a straight razor shave and when you know you finally got one down, no cuts, nicks, weepers. Look in the mirror. That sense of accomplishment. That is one thing for me. Got soap on my nose. I usually do across the grain up here without a little no trouble, but when it comes closer to being down on my neck, across the grain is a lot more challenging. But usually, like I say, with the 2-pass shave, it's good enough for what I'm needing, especially on a Saturday. And after I get done here, and I'll post this and grab some breakfast and lawn work. Yeah, don't necessarily need to look too terribly good to do the lawn work, do I? Probably could have forego the shave and passed on it. Not too terribly bad right there. Not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. Usually I do get some right there. That's because that growth through there is pretty thick. When it gets around my chin area, growth there is pretty well populated there. There's with it, witch hazel. Don't see anything trying to pop up at the last minute in the way of weepers. I had one shave, it was after I turned the video off and I looked up in the mirror and had some weepers that were weeping pretty good. I think the aftershave is probably what woke them up. We've gotten a little bit of rain here recently, and the grass has really grown in a short period of time. And the forecast, I guess they're anticipating some severe weather next week. Which is interesting that they forecasted this far out. They put it out yesterday. Yesterday here for me was Friday, and they're thinking next week there's going to be multiple days of severe weather. So they must be really anticipating something, which doesn't surprise me with the way our weather's been kind of wacky here lately. I mean, you get down below freezing at night, and a few days later you're hitting up around 80 degrees. That's yeah, that's, to me, that's, here in Oklahoma, that's a pretty good indication that the weather's going to start to get pretty bad. If you haven't used Stirling's, can't waste any of that aftershave, that's what the restrictor looks like. It's not too terribly small, not real big. Still have pretty good control of getting how much aftershave you want out of your bottle. Electric Sheep. Has a nice, well, I like that effect on there. I don't remember, I'd have to look again. It says it's got alcohol and witch hazel, aloe. Aloe, I think, is what I'm feeling, yes. It feels pretty moisturizing. And this is not a glacial formula, so if you don't particularly care for the menthol, this one here does not have the menthol in it. At least I didn't see it listed. And it doesn't feel like it either. But the aloe feels pretty good on my face. Pretty decent shave, since it's been a good long while since I shaved with a straight razor. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Everybody's doing well. Stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.